Manly, real man, not with the gay shit. You niggas sick and gross me out, transforming into a bitch. I don't want that dirty pussy, little mama. I ain't spending no a trick. Don't need you to put me on. I put myself on. Just came up on another lick. Bills paid, belly full, in lack for nothing. Nigga, do me, stay in my lane. Fuck trying to be another nigga with nothing. Brainwashed and continue lied to our social media. Censor everything real good and too destructive.
What the heck's going on here? Dozens of sheep have been eerily walking around in a perfect circle for 12 days straight. Where? In China. Now, is it aliens? We don't know. Have they been brainwashed by the liberal media? We don't know. Nobody seems to know while they're walking in circles. So, Will Cain, what is this?
The next pandemic? I mean, this is,
absolutely.
Look at
It's China. That's the
bats.
answer.
It's apocalypse.
Wow.
It's stay away. It's get back waters. Get away from whatever's happening on that screen right there.
I'm going to cancel my trip to Beijing.
Look, here's the thing. The other sheep were standing on the sidelines watching them saying, hey, these guys are crazy.
They could either provide an explanation for the increasing number of sightings that we're seeing, or it could reveal some more information about new encounters. The question really is how much of it is going to be declassified. Meanwhile, Mark says he was told his report is going to be included in that review for Congress, and based on other pilots he's been talking to, he is convinced dozens of commercial pilots are going to be coming forward describing the same kind of lights flying in that racetrack-like pattern in the direction of the Big Dipper. The craziest part of his story, he says, is he saw a shooting star during all of this that was coming in that direction too, and he's like, oh my gosh, there's a shooting star happening as well, and then that shooting star joined in the pattern that those other lights were flying, something he's never seen before.
Whoa. Dozens of pilots can't be making this up.
I know.
And again, we weren't studying these, but they were always out there. You know, they were out there when we took off, we'd see them, and then we go to land, they would still be out there.
Like every day?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
So you guys go from not having any idea that these things are out there to an upgraded radar system to seeing them every day.
Yeah.
Over the last several months, there's something unexplainable appearing in the night, from the skies over Missouri to above the Pacific Ocean.
It's not a satellite, it's not a meteor.
All baffling pilots mid-flight.
I don't know what the common denominator is, but it's always at the bottom of the Big Dipper.
Mark Holsey is a former F-18 fighter pilot. This August, he was piloting a private jet off the coast of Los Angeles when he says he saw as many as 7 mysterious objects appearing to fly thousands of feet above him. This is audio from that night alerting air traffic control.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not entering any military airspace or anything. I'm not sure.
The clip obtained by Ben Hansen, a researcher who has spoken to dozens of pilots of commercial flights that have recently had similar encounters.
So it seems like it might be getting more frequent?
It's either getting more frequent or it's getting noticed more.
Okay, there it is.
But while no one seems to know what they're seeing, Holsey is sure these fast-orbiting objects aren't satellites or any known military aircraft.
There were 2 aircraft from my squadron, VFA-11, and they flew, took off as a flight of 2. That means they're essentially flying in a formation like this. And as they hit the area, one of these objects went right between the aircraft. The lead air crew saw the object. He turned around, flew back, landed, and I was in the ready room when he come back, and he had all his gear on, which typically is not a good thing, because you want to get that stuff off as fast as possible. So usually means there's a problem of some nature, and he was just sitting there saying, hey, I was hit one of those damn things. And we all knew what he was referring to, even though we didn't necessarily have a name for it, just because we were seeing these so much. And he described it. He described it just as a black or dark gray cube, and that cube was inside of a clear or translucent sphere. And essentially the apex or the corners of that cube, best he could tell, were touching that inside of that sphere.
And that description mirrors many of the descriptions that people have had of these, whatever you want to call them. Whether they're calling them UAPs now for some strange reason. UFOs is I don't know, does it have a dirty connotation to it? Is it tainted because of so many crazy people talk about UFOs? Is that what it is?
It does come with a lot of assumptions baked in.
Yeah, it baked in. So that's something, but whatever it is, that is a design that people have reported seeing before.
Now, is it aliens? We don't know. Have they been brainwashed by the liberal media? We don't know.
Imagine being able to text or send email using only your thoughts. It's more than just wishful thinking, and it's opening doors for potentially millions of people suffering from severe paralysis.
The creators behind the mega hit show Westworld have something new coming to the small screen, The Peripheral, their new mind-bending series set to premiere in 2 weeks in 240 countries.
So he's got these implants in his body, which are kind of amazing. They give him a situational awareness that he shares with all the guys in his unit, but at the same time they all suffer from the same kind of unique PTSD as a result. So that's a really interesting element to the show.
What if the technological future was literally in your own hands? From a microchip implanted subdermally, merging the line between man and machine.
People have called me cyborg and everything, which I think is pretty funny. And I mean, I guess that could be accurate.
To a tiny robot learning to imagine itself and its own purpose.
Look at how Tesla aims to bring humanoid robots into the workplace. They look like that, and eventually they could end up in your home.
The chips he had implanted inside both his hands can start his Tesla, open his home door, and in the future even replace his wallet.
I wanted to be able to leave my house with no house key, no car key, no wallet, and still be able to carry out my everyday activities like I normally would.
Biohacking your own body, opening up endless possibilities.
We're at the dawn of this, so it's slowly working its way up.
Countries are opting for current digital alternatives, especially ones which are stable and approved by central banks. They are called central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. They are much like cryptocurrencies but much more stable. That is because they are controlled by governments. Several countries have launched their CBDCs. In Europe, Norway too is now testing its own digital currency.
Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are booming, and now the U.S. is looking into creating its own digital dollar. As KVU's Darenisha Heron shows us, that would come with some big changes to America's financial system.
Using banks as we know them could soon be a thing of the past. President Biden ordered the Treasury Department to consider creating a government-regulated digital dollar.
It would be probably as simple as opening up an app and you could have some banking services, including loans.
China has created its own form of digital currency. Known as the digital yuan, the currency will be owned by the central bank. This is the first major economy to create its own digital currency. The digital yuan isn't like Bitcoin, which is not backed by a government or central bank.
Internationally, it's a whole other ballgame. So there are definitely people out there who fear that China's central bank digital currency is being used to challenge the supremacy of the US dollar, because the US dollar right now is the world's most powerful currency. It can be used for many different things, for example, sanctions. And having a Chinese central bank digital currency circulating all over the world could be one way of undermining the power of the US dollar.
The mind and the machine intertwined like never before, highlighted in the groundbreaking technology from companies like Synchron.
In April 22nd of this year, I had the procedure to implant the Stentrode into my brain.
A tiny brain implant called a Stentrode, enabling patients to wirelessly control digital devices through their thoughts, designed for people suffering from paralysis. Company CEO Tom Oxley says it's just the beginning.
At the moment, we're looking at recording information to allow people to control things.
So I need cash now.
How much?
How much you got?
$1,000 if I make it to the next level, which you could maybe help with.
That's just one pill.
Which is one day, ain't it? And I got something big coming tonight, so we'll have the rest tomorrow.
All right, orient me.
Squad of Nazis in the house. We're in the bar.
Who's we?
Me and Reese and some dude from California. He hired us to get him past level 20. Keep saying, chill. Annoying as all hell. Reese is the one in the beret.
Hurry up!
Okay, what's going on here and what exactly is your character?